Hey there, fisherman. And I feel like I've really taken this deck to the next level, guys. We are playing Small World Froggy Aquaactresses, and we got that degenerate needle fiber in here doing some, needle fiber synchro shenanigan bullshit, so that's always fun. So yeah, this deck all like the last build already just clapped ass cheeks, but this just dick slaps everyone. This build is insane. So what's cool is if you guys have seen the guide that I posted to the last build, all of that pretty much works with this, except for like two things really, which we can I can go into in this when I get to it. So yeah, guys, if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and harpoon that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. So first up, 3 copies of Aquaactress Tetra right here. This card gets you a copy of any of the aquarium cards in the main deck, soft once per turn, so you can loop her pretty good. Next up, we're playing Aquaactress Guppy 2.0. Ice Knight here. This card is stupidly good. Gives you an additional normal summon of a water monster. So basically Guppy, but it works with everything in your deck and not just Tetra. And then it has another effect where it gains 400 for each Aqua monster you control, which, like, all of your stuff's Aqua, basically. So this thing can get pretty beefy and big pretty fast. Next up, playing the Frog Engine. 3 copies of Swap Frog. Card stupidly good. Best card in the deck. 3 copies of Dupe Frog. And then 2 copies of Ronin Tonin. I mean, I can't really say anything on frogs because they've been around for so long. Everybody pretty much knows what they do. You basically make totally awesome. That's what they do. So next card we play is Gretel Slime Jr. This is a insane 2-card combo piece with was it Swap Frog or no? Dude, Swap. If I can grab Swap, him right there, like. You get these, you pretty much kind of set right there. You basically make like two totally awesomes with a needle fiber, which lets you go into like Herald Arclight or was it Penguin Brave basically. So you can get like 3 negates or 2 negates with 2 compulses. So the choice is yours there. But like one of the better cards in this deck, really insane. Next up, 3 copies of Barrier Statue of the Torrent. No, you can special summon anything except water, so this is like an auto win against like pretty much any deck that doesn't play water. Next up, we're playing 2 copies of Deep Sea Minstrel. So we play this for a few reasons. 1, it's level 3. 2, it's a Sea Serpent. It's water. So, it's our small world target, but the thing is, this actually does work with the deck, and has some really unique applications where basically if you draw it, it's not a bad thing. Like, I actually want to play this card at 3, but just space constraint, I have to play it at 2. I wish I could play this card at 3 so badly. So, if you draw it, you can discard it with another wall monster, and then basically banish a card from your opponent's hand. So, you can basically get some information right there, kind of, at least 1 card in their hand, you know what it is, and it's gone. You don't got to deal with that shit. And then if you choose some of this off of needle fiber, so basically if you do, you mill 3, and then you recycle, like, any water monster. So that's pretty cool, actually. Some really cool, unique things you can do there. Kind of like that. But since it's level 3 and most of your stuff's level 2, you can actually make Chambara with it if you choose to, if you want to run it. Last monster I play is Penguin Soldier. Play it for the Penguin Brave to bounce 2 monsters my opponent controls. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty sacky. I love it. Love Penguin Brave so much. So for the spells, I play 3 copies of Aquarium Stage here. This is the best Aquarium card, so all the Aquarium cards, if they go from field to grave, you get to summon an Aqua from your graveyard. No stipulation, just has to be an Aqua, so, that's pretty nice. This one makes it where your water monsters can't be destroyed by battle with non-water monsters, and then Aquaactress are just immune to your opponent's monsters, effects, and bullshit. Just fuck the monster bullshit. Um, and I'm only playing Aquarium set at 1 now. Um, I feel like it was good enough to play at 1, and I had to cut some space for the small worlds, and for the deep sea minstrels, I ended up deciding to cut what was it? Tetsudo, Irat Newman, the level 1 turtle, and then 1-for-1. Just because I felt like those were the worst cards in the deck. So, yeah. But I needed to make a little bit more room, so I felt like the weakest thing was actually, basically looping Guppy to the point with the Aquarian cards to make her like a 3K beat stick immune to monster effects. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just, I felt like with everything that this build does, that was the weakest thing. But Aquarium stage is just so good, and then set I've always found in the 2 years I've been playing, the synchro variant. Set's good enough to at least have one copy of. Usually this card alone keeps me out of just being, my monsters attack. Basically it keeps my monsters within range of my opponent, usually just running them over, I found. So that's always been a nice help. So I felt like it was worth playing at 1, so I cut that and the stage, or I'm not sorry, not stage, lighting. Playing 3 copies of Small World because this card's absolutely insane. Gets you any monster. I just felt like all the pot cards never worked with this deck. Pot Desire was at 3. I didn't want to banish 10 cards to the main. It's just, you don't want to banish your frogs. You don't want to banish your aquarium cards. It's just, it never worked. And then with Pot Prosperity, even though I get to choose the monsters I can banish from my extra deck, there's not just 6 monsters I want to send. There's 4, maybe 5-ish that I'd just be okay with sending. So I felt like that never really worked. But Small World just kind of fits the bill. It's basically low cost essentially to get whatever monster I want. There's no actual cost for activating it, but you guys get what I mean. That's what I'm trying to make it where it's easy for y'all to understand. But card's insanely good. So usually when I activate it, I will go for swap, just so everyone knows, because swap is the best card. Next up, 3 copies of Triple Tag's Talent. Now, if you don't want to run this, I would say run the second copy of Set, play a copy of Lighting, and then play a second Surface. Or you could play a Salvage if you want. I like Surface more than Salvage, so. But yeah, everyone and their mom doesn't know this deck really does, so except for Swap Frog, everyone's afraid of Totally Awesome. They see Swap, they know you're going to make Toad, so they'll Ash it. The people with no brain cells will Veiler it. Some people Impermit, which it's stupid because I can just bounce back to my hand because that's the cost, and then just do the same shit. So yeah, ashing it is just kind of but now if they Ash it, you can just pretty much say fuck you and draw 2. So that's always pretty nice. Basically just punish your opponent for wanting to stop you. So next up, 3 copies of Ready Fusion, and then with that I play the 1 instant fusion. I know a lot of people do 2 and 1, but I'm still on that 3-1 lineup for this deck, just because you really want to see these. Because this basically can give you a piece for Needle Fiber, because you can drop, Sea Monster Theseus. So I don't really open 2 Ready Fusions hardly ever. So it's not happened enough to warrant me wanting to cut Ready Fusion down to 2 and Instant Fusion to 1. I just feel like it's too much of a key piece. So 1 Surface. This is sadly a card that had to get cut down. I felt like, you know, there was times where I was playing at 3 where I would open like 2, but then like half, like I want to say like half to like maybe like 60% of the time I could still do stuff with them. So yeah, it's just kind of like I felt like it was cut. It wasn't worth complete cutting, but you know I could cut a copy or two. I cut salvage. Salvage is just like I don't know it. I feel like it was one of the weakest cards in the deck. Like right above, or yeah, like right above. What is it? Tetsu, Erat Newman, and 1-for-1. Because those cards, like, while it's another little stun option, doesn't really do a whole lot to really win. That's how I felt. Like, it didn't really win me the most games. So, one copy of Monster Reborn because, you know, Monster Reborn's good. And then one copy of Foolish Burial because, you know, we want to get our frogs in the grave. So, card's really good. For the extra deck guys, playing one copy of Link Karibo, one copy of Needle Fiber here, one copy of Marincess Coral Anemone, like one of the best cards in the extra deck, and then one copy of Marincess Great Bubble Reef. Cards so fucking good, a lot better than everyone thinks, a lot better than I initially thought. Like, the more I use this card, the better I feel it is, just because, you know, it basically comes a big beat stick and then a draw one each standby phase. You don't need 3 copies of every monster you play. You can banish 1 or 2 copies that's in the grave to basically just, you know, keep plussing and drawing. So, card's really freaking good. For the fusions, I play 2 copies of Sea Monster Theseus. I still like playing 2. I feel like 2's worth playing because there's times where I'll get instant fusion with I can't think of it. Ready fusion. So like those like a monster essentially. Like you can do some pretty cool stuff. There's a little cool combo you can do with or like if you open those with what's the card I'm thinking of? Aquaactress Tetra. Just some cool stuff. So that's it for the fusions. Now for the XCs, I play one copy of Bahamut Shark here. If you don't want to play Bahamut Shark, you could play High Speed Roy Chambara. You know, this is basically like if you know you want to play that, this would be the card you replace. I think playing this is better than Chambara, just because, you know, if I open like 2 Ice Knights or an Ice Knight and a Bear Statue Torrent, but I can't essentially protect it, you know, by making like a Toad, which will bring out the dupe on my opponent's turn, or, you know, like if I don't open a Aquarium stage, I'd rather just make this to essentially get a negate at least. Then with that, 3 copies of Totally Awesome, best card in the game. It's totally awesome, love it, just amazing card. Frog support done right, Konami. When we get more frog support, we need more. We need some more frog support, Konami. Please get on that. Then for the synchros, play 1 copy of Formula Synchron, and if I make this off Needle Fiber, I'll draw 1 and then make Herald Arclight specifically. My other option is Christian Quandax here, which I'll use to make Penguin Brave. And then 1 copy of good big old bad White Aura Whale here. This card's absolutely insane. Oh my god. Freaking just nuke the field. When it's synchro summoned, does piercing, attacks up to 2 monsters, banish a water monster and grave to revive itself. What? This thing is just an absolute monster. Like, holy shit, this thing will just swallow you up and gobble you whole. Oh man, just opponent better have their anus ready for that shit. So, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this Aquaactress deck profile here. Obviously, Aquaactress are no longer budget. You know, this is what I feel is really like the best way to play this deck. Although, you know, like I said, the triple tax talent is, you know, that's like up to your preference there. You do have like a little bit of wiggle room because, you know, if you don't want to play what is it, what you call Penguin Brave, you could essentially drop this with the Penguin Knight or Penguin Soldier. Sorry. Basically, you know, you got like a little bit of wiggle room. You know, where you can adjust it to your local meta, but this is, you know, the cards I play in those certain spots I feel like are just best for my meta. So, guys, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Go ahead and harpoon that subscribe button, harpoon that like button, guys. Link in the description down below to my Instagram if you want to follow me on there. Link in the description to the guide, which, like I said, mostly covers the last build, or covers last build, but everything works in this except for like 2 things. So yeah, check that out, really help you guys out. And I'll see you all in the next video, guys.